Hey, business building warrior, welcome to Silent Sales Machine Radio, the only podcast, to my knowledge, that features hundreds of interviews with the people who are applying the strategies taught on the show and succeeding with those strategies. That makes for a pretty interesting, unique show in the e-commerce space. And today we're going to talk about why it is that after 23 years in e-commerce, that's how long I've been in e-commerce, 23 years, with my partner, Nathan Bailey, doing coaching for many of those years, why it is that we are still, after the past 15 years or so, we're still talking about Amazon as the greatest starting point. I've never seen anything else like the opportunities that we talk about around here. And again, the only income that my family of seven and I had, we raised 5 kids, we homeschooled them. My wife was able to stay home. She stepped away from her career. She was very successful in insurance. She got way better grades than I did in college, got all kinds of great job offers. But we said, hey, we want our kids to have the mom home. We want to homeschool. And I wanted a flexible career that I could work from home, be available when I was needed. And that's how we raised our kids. Jump forward 23 years later. I've seen a lot, as you might imagine. I mean, talk to anybody who's been in any industry for 2+ decades. They've made some observations. They've learned some big lessons. They've had a chance to save you a whole lot of time if you'll just listen to what it is that they're going to share with you. And I think we've earned the right to have those kind of conversations around here. I think that's the reason why a lot of listeners come to our show, is because of just the sheer volume of experiences that we've had. Now, if you weren't aware, before I jump into the topic today, let me just lay some ground rules. There's no such thing as an easy business, just like there's no such thing as an easy way to be healthy, or an easy way to have a great marriage, or an easy way to be the person you always thought you wanted to be, or an easy way to write that next great book that you've had in the back of your head. Everything worth having in life requires work. But if you're willing to do the work, let's set that aside for a moment and assume that you're someone who's recognized that delayed gratification and doing the work now so you can have a better life tomorrow. You accept those kind of truths about the world. If you don't, we don't have a whole lot for you here, and neither does anybody else, although they'll promise that, and you'll probably spend a lot of money chasing shiny objects, thinking you can hit the right buttons and buy the right course and make a bunch of money. Those opportunities simply don't exist. So once you've got that reality squared away in your head, that whatever you do is going to take some work, there's going to be a learning curve, there's going to be some, like we say, blood, sweat, tears, risk, work, sacrifice involved. Once you've got that down, there is literally nothing in all of e-commerce that's as consistently steady at producing great results for what we call affectionately clueless newbies. Now, maybe you've already got tremendous momentum in another business model. Maybe you've already got expertise. Maybe you've already established something that's working and you're selling some things and it's going fairly well and you're just looking to scale that. I don't suggest hitting the reset button, turning everything else off, and jumping on Amazon. But I want to talk to the people who don't have any momentum with anything right now. You're willing to do the work. And I want to look you straight in the eye and say, there is nothing else like what we do here. There just isn't. If there was something that had the low risk, the nice wading in at a very low cost of investment required, about $100 a month is your minimum base, a few $100s for inventory, and you're off to the races getting proof of concept, right? So I'm talking low cost. So low risk, low cost, nice, steady paced learning curve. Now, there always will be more to learn. It's not like you sit down for 3 hours and now you know all there is to know. Go make money. There will always be more you have to learn. Of course, in anything worth doing in life, that's the case. I've been married 30 years. There's always more to learn about how to be a good husband, about how to build a great marriage. Same with business. There will always be more to learn. But getting started and having results that prove the concept with a very low risk, very low learning curve, very low investment required, there's nothing else like this with the highest odds of success, and better yet, the high odds of it leading to multiple other incredible opportunities. So let me just lay it out. This is what I'm talking about. In 23 years, I've never seen anything like the Amazon replens opportunity. And I'll explain more about what that is in a couple minutes. But the bigger point is, in the landscape of everything that's out there, all the exciting stuff, all the stuff that's getting hyped up, all the stuff that's coming and going, all the thousands of dollars of courses, all the promises and things that you could get into, there's nothing else like this because it's so expansive. There's so much demand there. The blue ocean future is growing so rapidly. There's so few people doing it right. It just adds up to being something that if I've got 30 seconds with you in an elevator and you say, hey, okay, I know nothing about e-commerce. I've never made any money. Tell me something that's going to change my life. I say, go get the Proven Amazon course, follow the steps. It will change your life. It will open up doors. Now, if you try to figure it out on your own, if you try to cut some corners, if you try to improve the process by, trying to sell someone else's brand and launch it on Amazon as your first thing, or try to come up with a better mousetrap and sell that on Amazon as your first try, you're not doing the system that we teach. I'm not saying anything that's involved with Amazon is guaranteed to be gold, no matter what your experience level is. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we've discovered a specific strategy on Amazon that only we are the only ones teaching it with any credibility, because we're the ones with hundreds and hundreds of success stories from our students, many of whom had zero e-commerce experience, mind you. And now those people are succeeding. They're becoming our teachers in our community, our coaches, our leaders, our content creators. So it works. We're proving it every day. And if you're willing to focus in, dial in, put your attention on the stuff we're teaching, there's nothing else like it out there. I'm not saying there's nothing else out there. I'm saying there's nothing else like this that offers the low risk, the low learning curve, low investment required, high odds of success, that opens up incredible doors. Now, let me address some of the things that come up frequently in our community when people say, well, I've asked around about Amazon and I'm getting mixed reports here. Understandably so, because Amazon is half of all economic activity on the internet any given day in the United States. Half of all transactions. If I was to sit down and brainstorm with a panel of, say, 5 or 6 leaders from our community, we could start rapid fire brainstorming probably 150 different ways to monetize Amazon without exaggeration. You can be an affiliate marketer. You can make KDP books. You can help other people make KDP books and get them onto Amazon. I mean, you can get going and just start rolling, help other brands get on Amazon, help brands improve their presence on Amazon, offer pay-per-click services to brands that are struggling on Amazon, on and on, 150. So when people say, well, I don't know about that Amazon thing, what they're saying is they heard of someone who probably took a stab at doing one of those 150 strategies and it didn't work out real well. And so now they think, well, okay, there's nothing there. But the fact is, half of all money flowing on the internet in the United States is flowing through Amazon every single day. If you can't figure it out there, you're going to have a much harder time figuring it out anywhere else, is the point I'm making. One of the promises I made to students over 20 years ago was, I'm going to help you find the greatest opportunities that require the lowest risk and lowest learning curve. That's what I do here. Now, I don't spend all my time there. Let me just pause that conversation for a moment. I've got high-end clients. I love working one-on-one with high-end clients who have completely different businesses. In some cases, it's not even internet-based businesses, that I help them use the internet creatively to grow that business. I love working with leaders, with other people who are trying to build successful organizations. I mean, keep in mind, we've coached almost 10,000 people. There's not a lot of people who have coached 10,000 people online. We have. And I love working with higher level leaders like that who need those kind of solutions. I know how to grow a team. I know how to automate that team, how to expand my network of influence online and capitalize on that in a way that maintains the integrity of the system. We've learned a lot of hard lessons. So if that's you, by the way, and you want to reach out to me directly and talk about working one-on-one on some projects, it's not cheap, but I guarantee you were going to get results if I take you on as a client, because I won't take on any clients that I can't get results for. So let's talk if that's you. But that's not most people. So when we started creating this content and this community, I wanted it to be something that anyone who had a dream or a vision for their family, that they could have financial freedom, that the parents could be home. If they wanted to, they could homeschool their kids. They could live a flexible lifestyle. They could unplug from the way the world has told us the way life has to be. You know, as a dad, to speak from the heart, I heard and saw all around me as I was starting to have our first kids that you had to make a choice at that point. All dads must make a decision. Do you want to be a great provider, or do you want to be a great present, loving father and husband? Because you can't do both with excellence. It's virtually impossible. The examples in our culture of dads who are doing both with excellence are so far and few between that it's hardly worth even considering. I rejected that notion. I said, there has to be a way, and I'm going to find it and figure it out. That's exactly what we did. And I want that for as many fathers and as many families as we can possibly do it. So that's what's driving me and having this mass appeal business opportunity that opens up what I believe to be the greatest doors of opportunity and prosperity and financial freedom that, from my vantage point, that the world has ever seen, which may sound like an exaggeration, but let's just look at the numbers for a moment. Amazon has already created more millionaires than any other company in world history. It's inarguable. Not just the investors, not just the employees with stock options, but the sellers. No company's ever seen anything like it. The sellers who have either launched brands or sold other people's brands, and our own community. You hear story after story. We've collected hundreds of incredible stories from our students. So they've already got that going for them. Amazon has created more millionaires than any company in world history. Okay, well, Jim, it's saturated. This is one of the pushbacks that we hear sometimes. Well, it must be saturated, Jim, by now. I mean, come on, it's been around a while. I'm too late. I've been hearing the saturation argument for over 2 decades. It's a nonsensical cop-out, basically. It's an excuse. It's not an actual argument. Here's why. Let me just go over some numbers. Again, we talked about how Amazon is half of all e-commerce, and you might think Amazon is dominating the landscape of retail in the United States. It's not. E-commerce is still only about 15 to 17% of all retail. It's a tiny piece of the pie. All of e-commerce is a tiny piece of the pie. 85% of the retail pie is still brick and mortar, traditional, get in your car, go to the store, buy something off the shelf. 85% is still that. So when I say Amazon is half of e-commerce, they're half of that 15%, which is big. I mean, there's not a lot of players eating up a whole 7-8% of the pie all by themselves. That's Amazon. Amazon is about 7% of retail in the United States. But here's what's crazy. That's a tiny piece compared to where it's going to be. E-commerce is growing. Amazon is growing. And just in case you're under the delusion that I am all about Amazon, no, Walmart, we love Walmart. Walmart's actually growing faster than Amazon. But you got to get into the reselling game. You got to get into the selling online game to start to take advantage of these trends. So when someone says saturation, I say there's never been a better time to start than right now. In fact, the 2 best times to start were a few years ago or right now. 2 best times ever, because the blue ocean is expanding faster than the people who are paying attention to the details and serving that ocean. Just imagine a bunch of people fishing in a lake, and you're thinking, well, might be getting overfished. I don't know. But the lake is growing so fast, and the new fishermen are coming in at a trickle who understand. Now, there's a lot of amateur fishermen who show up with a stick and a piece of string and kind of smack the water and think they're fishing. They're not fishing. I'm talking about people who are actually hitting the lake equipped to do what's required to catch fish. There's just not a lot of fishermen hitting the lake. The people who know what they're talking about. There's a whole lot of people claiming they went fishing who brought a piece of string and a stick and smacked the water a few times and said, yep, that doesn't work. There's a good number of those people. I'm talking about the people who follow a system, who stick with it, who understand there's a learning curve, who wade in nice and slow and do what has to be done to actually start catching fish. And I can say this, we haven't seen in the history of us training on Amazon the past what, 13 plus couple, about 14, 15 years. We've been training Amazon at this point. I've never seen a window of time where as consistently as right now, new students who pay attention and do what we tell them are investing less money to get proof of concept. And they're doing it more consistently than at any other point in time. So no, we're not looking at saturation. Amazon has 1 billion ASINs, more than 1 billion. It would take us 32 years to look at all of them once. That's a lot of product, and it's growing rapidly. Right now, we demonstrate this all the time in our community, our free Facebook group. There are millions of products that are understocked, millions of popular products that sell on a regular basis on Amazon that are understocked in Amazon's hundreds of warehouse network. That's just the United States. No matter where you live, you can do this, by the way. Does not matter where you live. Doesn't make any difference where your mailing address is on the planet. If you can set up a US-based entity, which isn't hard to do, you can start selling on Amazon and you can follow the same process as everyone else. You don't have to have the product shipped to you. You can use a prep partner. I'm not going to dive into that right now, but we walk you through all of this. So the opportunity is viable. It's growing. It's never worked more consistently than it is right now. All the trends are in our favor. Hey, we'll get back to the great episode in just a moment. Sorry for the interruption, but I want to point something out. If you're enjoying this program, this podcast, could you do us a little favor? Could you spread the word? Send some friends to silentjimdotcom and say, hey, check out this podcast. Multiple streams of income, learn to sell on Amazon, great free content. Hey, help us spread the word. That's the way we market this show, is you sharing with others. That's why we have over 6 million downloads on iTunes alone. And speaking of iTunes, would you leave us a review? We love to see those iTunes reviews rolling in. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes as well. That really helps us out in the industry to get recognition and gain followers and subscribers. If you subscribe yourself, leave us a review. By the way, did you know that this show that you're listening to right now was voted as the #1 podcast for Amazon sellers by an independent survey in late 2024? That's right, the #1 show for Amazon sellers. We won. And you're a big part of why. So thank you for being a listener. You're the best part of this show. But hey, help us spread the word if you don't mind. That helps us continue to bring you quality content, attract high quality sponsors and other listeners who will pay attention to what we're doing here, because we want to teach you to use the internet creatively to launch and grow multiple streams of income. We need your help to spread the word. We want to help others do the same. All right. God bless you, business building warrior. Thanks for a couple moments of your time. Let's get back to the show. It's never worked more consistently than it is right now. All the trends are in our favor. Here's what I mean by that. More and more people are shopping on Amazon. This is US government data. More and more people are shopping online. If you can Google it, go to Google and ask what percentage of retail is online. What's the future forecast? You'll see what I'm talking about. That 15% online right now will soon be 20, then 25, and 30. It's climbing. You're stepping into an arena where the opportunities are expanding more rapidly than the good people are stepping in to take advantage of those opportunities and serve the needs of the consumers and the brands that need your help. One of the things I like to point out when I say I haven't seen anything like this in all of e-commerce, there's nothing else like this. Learning the basics opens up doors of opportunity that otherwise wouldn't be open to you. We're seeing our students, in some cases, very rapidly build successful businesses doing what we teach, but then step into other arenas of opportunity that present themselves. If you approach this through a relationship lens, meaning I'm not just going to sit behind my keyboard, hit buttons, and find good products. I'm not just going to do that. I'm going to actually build relationships, pick up the phone, set appointments, attend events. Speaking of which, come to the Proven Conference, last 3 days of May of 2025. Theprovenconference.com is the website, has all the details. If you're new, we got a scholarship for you. You can come for free. There's detail right at the top of that page, theprovenconference.com. But the people who do those things, they make it relational. They don't hide behind their computer. Those people having conversations, getting engaged, joining a mastermind, finding out who in their local area. We help you do this, by the way. Who else is in e-commerce? Who else is building a business? The doors of opportunity that open up to you so rapidly once you grasp the basics of this, It's going to blow your mind. We have people getting incredible job offers, becoming consultants, helping brands get registered, partnering up with other sellers on unique opportunities that they otherwise couldn't tackle on their own. All kinds of incredible vendors and partners that are hiring people and paying them well to serve this rapidly expanding community of e-commerce sellers. So the opportunities open up very rapidly. Sometimes people are under the delusion that what we teach here is how to spend the rest of your life selling random widgets to strangers. No, that's the entry gate. That's the door you walk through. You don't have to stay there the rest of your life. Actually, I get a little nervous when I see someone doing only the one model that we teach to new sellers around here, and that's it for year after year after year after year. No, you should have new opportunities opening up to you as you go down this path. Don't get me wrong, you can build a multiple seven-figure business with just that model. We've seen it over and over again. If you haven't heard podcast episode number 754, scroll back in time. Go to silentjim.com, click on podcast, type in 754. It'll take you to the episode that I did with Kang, and it will tell you about not only his incredible story. It's my favorite podcast episode of the first 1,000 episodes of this show that we recorded. That's saying a lot. Hopefully that means something to you. 754. Go listen to it. But it also talks about how he built a $3 million business with just a couple people on his team. And he stepped back, didn't have to do any of the heavy lifting, just funded it and put money in, got great ROI and net profit back out, and built the software that ran the entire thing. And that software we're giving away for you to try so you can see for yourself how all this works. We're removing as many barriers as we possibly can to help you wade into what we believe to be the greatest business opportunity, certainly of our lifetimes, for a clueless newbie who's willing to work, ready to do what we tell them, and possibly the greatest business opportunity ever, with the brightest future, mind you. And if you can just turn off the noise, and I got a couple of the things that you might have heard out there that kind of distract you and detract you from trying these things. You know, I mentioned saturation earlier, right? I got a couple of things for me to go through. But if you can just step in and try it, we've lowered the barrier so low. If you want to try that software, by the way, get over to silentjim.com/the system. That's the easy link to remember. It's also called 3P Mercury, the number 3, the letter P, and then the word mercury.com. You can see the free trial button right there. No credit card needed. Just try it out. Check it out. Wade in. Play around with it. You can't break anything. Now, you're going to need to learn how to be an Amazon seller in order to take advantage of the software. That's why we offer training. Everything from these free podcasts and our free Facebook group, where you can piece it together over time and hopefully you don't make any dumb mistakes, or our proven Amazon course, which is $39 a month, gives you everything, starts you out with our getting started roadmap that steps you through baby steps all the way through getting ramped up, or get a coach. We don't talk or hype our coaching program enough. It is absolutely incredible. All of our coaches are incredible people with teachers' hearts who've built beautiful businesses using the strategies we teach here. Work with one of them as a mentor and a guide to get through this. You will ramp up so much faster, build such a stable business, and compared to where you would it be if you tried to do it yourself, go so much faster. If you want to check out our coaching, go to silentjim.com/book a call. BOOK, book a call, as in schedule a call with us. There's a phone number right there. Give us a call anytime. All right, so what are some of the other pushbacks and challenges we're hearing right now? Well, Jim, I heard this one guy and he was selling for a while and now he got out and frustrated because this brand he'd been selling, he got gated. And that was like his whole business. He can't sell Nike anymore, or he can't sell Adidas anymore, or he can't do this anymore, or he got suspended. And you'll hear these stories. But time after time after time, all the people who used to do it and don't do it anymore, I recorded a podcast episode not too long ago about that. People who used to do it and they don't do it anymore, they fit into a handful of different buckets. Maybe a bigger opportunity came along. Maybe they were so focused in on one specific strategy and they weren't doing it the right way and they finally got caught. That's a lot of people, by the way. Amazon will let you get away with a lot of stuff that's not allowed for quite some time, and then they'll drop the hammer. And then the person who got the hammer dropped on them says, Amazon is evil. Well, if you'd read the policies and done what they were telling you to do, you would still have a business. So don't be distracted by the people who were gambling on Amazon, not following the rules, who were taking risks and they knew it, or taking risks and they didn't know it. Oh, or who were jumping off the high dive as toddlers. What do I mean by that? They got into Amazon trying to launch a brand and they imported a bunch of stuff from China and filled their garage with it. That's jumping off the high dive while you're still in diapers. No one goes to the swim park and lets their toddler climb to the top of the 30-foot high dive and jump in as their first experience and then say, yeah, swimming is terrible. I don't know how anyone ever does it. Well, that's because you sent your toddler off the 30-foot high dive. Of course, you had a bad experience. But if you wade in the way that we show, you diversify, you make it relational, you take calculated risks, you know the policies, you have a good guide, your odds of success in this business are as solid as anything I've seen in 23 years of doing e-commerce. That's just the reality of it. There's a lot of noise out there saying, oh, I don't know about this. I heard that this guy used to and doesn't anymore, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I got it. If that's all you need to scare you away from an opportunity is it didn't work out for this guy and that guy says bad things, I hear you. But how about you listen to a community where we've got at any given time, here, just a couple weekends ago, I made the observation that we had in a 72-hour period, we had 20 of our new students jump into our Facebook group and say things like, wow, proof of concept. I sent the product in, I was skeptical, but it's selling, or just had my first $100 day, guys. This is amazing. Finally, something that works. We had 20 of those in one weekend in an arena that's expanding more rapidly than good people are jumping in to help. Let me give you one last little example of what I mean by that. And then I'm going to cut this one off because I got another appointment coming up. But I'm sure I could sit here all day and talk through, well, I heard this one guy knew someone who said Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I hear you. The prices went up. The fees went up. Oh, it's too expensive. You know what? Let me just hit that one real quick. Over the past 23 years, I've seen, without exaggeration, and my right-hand man, Nathan Bailey, who's been with me running our coaching program the whole time, he echoes this exact thing. We've seen, without exaggeration, 100 minimum of 100 changes that scared sellers. And in many cases, scared them away. And the ones who stuck around kept making money. Fee changes, tax changes, importing, tariff, policy, blah, 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 whatever, gating, Amazon changing a rule or a policy, and everybody freaks out. But here's what hasn't changed. More shoppers will be buying stuff online tomorrow than we're buying stuff online today. And that's going to be true for the next, unless all the forecasts are wrong, that's going to be true for the next couple decades. More people will be shopping online tomorrow, spending more money online tomorrow than we're spending online today. Shoppers keep showing up. They keep paying for all the new fees and tariffs and taxes and policy change expenses. So we're not the ones paying those things. As a seller, the prices go up. I remember the first time eBay raised fees 20 plus years ago. Sellers freaked out, boycotted, said they were never using eBay again. They ran fleeing back to the corporate market looking for jobs because they said the game was over. Amazon's charging 50 cents a transaction instead of 25 cents. They've killed our businesses. Game over. Was it true? Of course not. And it's not true now either. So these nickel and dime changes in expenses, inflation is another one. People say, oh, it's going to kill business. No. Shoppers pay. When shoppers stop shopping, that's when I will say, guys, yeah, the game has changed. Shoppers haven't stopped shopping. Every fourth quarter, every Christmas shopping season is bigger than the one before. Dramatically so. It's been true for over 2 decades. It's going to continue to be true unless the apocalypse, right? So don't buy into the scare tactics of people who are trying to distract your attention away from where the real stable opportunities are. Am I saying this is for everyone? No, I've tried to be very clear about that. This is for people who say, you know what, I don't necessarily have any big advantages anywhere else, but I'm willing to do the work. I don't understand e-commerce. It's new to me, but I'm willing to follow a system. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm willing to put a few $100s, maybe a couple thousand at most, at risk to test this out and see what this is. That's who this is for. And I love working with all kinds of business building warriors. I enjoy working with very creative, high level people that are running massive organizations and talking through strategy. But what really gets me excited is when I see formerly clueless newbies picking up speed, starting to have this vision of how different life could be, starting to have it within their grasp that I could have financial freedom. I could pay off my house. I could have a few extra $1,000s a month. Actually, I could hire someone and have more than that. I could build something here. That excitement that wells up and gets you flowing into being a creative giver, an entrepreneur who serves others at scale. I love lighting those fires. I just can't stop. That's what I've done for all these years, along with running my own business, teaching other people how to do what it is we're learning around here. That's what we do. So in the 23 years I've been in e-commerce, I've seen nothing like this. If something else more interesting comes along, we'll be teaching it. And we've got all kinds of other creative strategies that we're always introducing and bringing in front of the community. If you come to our conference, you're going to hear 40 breakout sessions. All of them are taught by people who are doing the stuff that they're teaching. We've got Amazon to Amazon flips, Amazon to Walmart flips. We've got people doing Walmart now exclusively. We've got wholesale sellers. We've got people doing the agency model, meaning they're helping brands get on Amazon. All kinds of interesting things. But you got to start with the basics. You got to learn the ropes. You got to wade into the kiddie pool area of the swimming park. So if you fall on your face, you're in 2 inches of water and you haven't done any damage, and you don't go home that night and say, yeah, swimming is terrible. I don't know why anyone does that anymore. It's terrible. No, you've got to experience it the right way. You got to do things in the right order. That's what we do here, and we'd love to help you. If you're ready to get going, you're serious, I'm going to give you a couple options for points of action. The first one is if you just want to have a conversation with a great person on our team who's been with us a long time, who knows the answers to all the questions you probably got bounced in your head, can help you map out where you are now to where you'd like to be and how long it's going to take you and how much money it might take you and what your options are. You want to have that conversation with someone right now? You can call us anytime during business hours in the US. We're answering the phones. Go to silentjimdotcom/book a call. You'll see a phone number there, or you can schedule a time for us to sit down and have a Zoom session with you and talk it all over. That's a great option. Or if you want to go check out Kang software, remember I mentioned podcast episode 754, completely free, no credit card needed. Get over to 3pmercury.com. I'll stick a link in the show notes to all of this today. Finally, if you want to step into the course that's helped more people build beautiful businesses than any other Amazon seller training in the world, it starts assuming that you know absolutely nothing, that you can barely find the keyboard on your laptop, and it walks you through how to set up an Amazon business, how to test this, how to get proof of concept so you can move forward with confidence before you spend a lot of money. That's the Proven Amazon course. Once you get through the basics, it's got very advanced modules. They're going to carry you through your entire Amazon selling journey. But we're going to start you off with our Getting Started roadmap that steps you through baby steps into the wading pool area of the swim park. You can go as fast as you want. You could be swimming laps a couple months from now, or you could take your time and it could take a lot longer than that. It's up to you. You go at your own pace, but we're going to step you through it. That's the Proven Amazon course, found only at provenamazoncourse.com. Go check it out. There's 3 options for you. Links to all of that in the show notes. Hey, God bless you, business building warrior. Thanks for spending some time with me today as we talk through what I'm observing as the greatest business opportunity, especially for clueless newbies, of the past 23 years of my full-time e-commerce experience. We're set up to help you take this journey if you're ready to go, if you're ready to do the work. Let's partner up and make it happen. What do you say? Reach out to us. If we can be of assistance, we're here to serve. Our Facebook group is free, 81,000 members in there. There's a link at silentjim.com. Jump in there. You'll see what I'm talking about. Scroll through the images sometime. You'll see people posting results. They're posting their challenges too. Hey guys, this just happened. Got any advice? I'm a little nervous about that. This just changed. What should I do here? You'll see that too. We're helping each other out completely free, but you're also going to see a bunch of really cool success stories. Scroll back in time on our podcast as well if you want to hear me and others interviewing hundreds of successful students from our community who are following the systems that we teach here. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. I got to wrap it up right now. It's been a pleasure spending some time with you today. Thank you for giving some of that to me. I consider it one of the greatest gifts you could give me, some of your time. Thank you. I know how precious that is. But we'll have more good episodes for you very, very soon. Thanks for being the best part of our show. I'll talk to you then.